international honeymoon. Waiting this up. When I dey hustle, you dey lick lollipop. Now you dey from Robocop. But now to the reality must come out. Ask them, who no know me? Oluwabona. Who want the flows? Wọ́n pè mí Mr. Lover. Ọmọge méjì ní backseat nínú Hummer. Wọ́n fẹ́ lọ clubbing, mo dẹ̀ gbé wọn lọ sí ọ̀rẹ́. Kùnú follow me run my race. If you like say they don't dey crazy. We no dey look their face. And right now I don't feel like it. Daddy, daddy, come over here. Mommy, mommy, come over here. Daddy, daddy, come over here. Mommy, mommy, come over here. Daddy, daddy.
Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of the Entrepreneurs Club. My name is Koli Obasa of thisKoliObasa.com. Joining me on the show today is a lady called Mrs. Karri, an ultra successful business owner. She's got a thing or two to say about business. Catch you on the other side. Hello everybody and welcome to today's episode of the Entrepreneurs Club. Joining me on the show today is a highly successful business owner and entrepreneur by the name of Mrs. Karri. Mrs. Karri has got a thing or two to say about business, and I find the information she's going to give us today is going to be of so much relevance to you out there. So, Mrs. Karri, thank you for having us on the show today.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
It's a special day today because today is the first episode of the Entrepreneurs Club. So thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
Fantastic. So let's start with the very easy questions.
Yeah.
Why entrepreneurship?
Why entrepreneurship is, it is something you can achieve for your own satisfaction. Also, the society in whole, to improve the country and the economy, we need entrepreneurs in many ways. Whether it is small or large, the country depends upon you. Not only for yourself, the country needs you. We need entrepreneurs to bring in new sort of services, new sort of methods,
Fantastic.
and give the opportunity for people to become entrepreneurs. For the person like you who want to become an entrepreneur, you can do it. You should never think that you are not fit enough. There is no word like that. As long as you think positively and move forward, the entrepreneurship is very good for anybody who wants to go into it.
That's very good advice. So how long have you been in business?
I have been in business nearly 35 years. I started from small. Small means from a corner shop, serving 5 customers. Today, I serve 100 customers.
Fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit about your business empire, what you own?
Yes, as I mentioned previously, I started from a corner shop. I had no experience, but I had the motivation to learn. And when I came to England from India, this was in 1975, I saw the amount of services and the support available in this country. That made me go into business. As I mentioned, I started from a small corner shop. Then I moved on to have a post office in there. That gave me the chance of learning the accounting system. And from there, I started having care homes. And when I ran it for 10 years successfully. And after that, I went into property business. And then I started learning about a little bit of construction, which was very nice. I gone into construction, and from there, unexpectedly, I ended up having a restaurant and a hotel, which again I built it myself, learned from scratch, and I made a successful business running for a few years, learning the hospitality clients, the guests, what they need. Then moved on to open an exclusive hotel with a different type of method, using getting the niche clients into the business. And I'm at the moment I'm running. But I have seen different businesses in my lifetime, and I will say is anybody who again wants to go into entrepreneurship, please do.
It looks like you've been able to carry out and do many sort of businesses.
Yes, you need to, because that gives you some motivation and persistence to do other things. And your mind also will cope to learn how to take new challenges in life.
It's quite fascinating, really, because a lot of people you speak to, or I have spoken to, are into one kind of business. Whether it's the restaurant business or hotel business, they're into one kind of business. But I've been able to identify that so many other business owners, the successful ones, have been able to dabble in a lot of different types of businesses. Is that a characteristic of successful business owners?
That's right. You never put eggs in one basket. You always have to put in different baskets. If you have only one business, it's always risky because you never know what market is going to be. If you have different businesses, then the chances of you coming down is far minimal than having one business and come down very quickly.
Understandable.
This is why you need to think carefully which business you're going to go in and spread your wings across, which again comes to the same business in a different ways.
Fantastic. So there's this common perception that to be an entrepreneur or business owner, you need to work extra hard, no time for anything. What do you have to say about that?
Not necessary. Everybody thinks, oh, if you are a self-employed or a entrepreneur, you have to work hard all the time. It doesn't. It doesn't work like that. Okay, you have to put more hours, but with a proper planning of what you do, that gives you much more time, and you should never get stressed out. So you need to have some time for yourself and your family. As I said, proper planning for anything is necessary. Whether if you're working for somebody, you work 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. If you're self-employed, you might put 2 more hours, but you don't have to put 24 hours. I can assure that for you.
Thanks for letting us know that.
Yes.
So, many people want to start a business, and I've come across a lot of reasons for not starting the business. So many people tell me about lack of funds, lack of finance, lack of motivation. So many different reasons for not starting a business. But you were able to make that move. How were you able to actually stand up and start your first business?
Yes, I will tell you. This is going back again. My first business, I was only about 21 when I went to see the bank manager on a high street to get funding for my business. And he has asked me so many questions. Out of 20, I could only answer 5. 15 of them I didn't understand. But I have written every question what he asked, came home and did a lot of research and prepared myself for the second interview with the bank manager. Then I came to know when you approach a person for funding, you always have to know what you're going to ask. You need to plan yourself like a cash flow. What the market wants. What can you offer the market? All these things, the person who is funding should know. Once you have a clear plan in your mind and express to the person who is going to fund you, I'm sure funding won't be a problem. If you're not clear in the mind and you don't know what you're going to do, obviously a bank will not take the risk. So it is you have to have a clear sense of what you're going to do there. Do a lot of research with the market, what the market wants, what sort of customers you have. Yeah? How are you going to achieve your goals? You need to have a clear idea when you're talking to a bank manager or a funding person. Funding in England is not a problem. Out there are funds available for people like me who started 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Even till today, the banks come forward to do it, provided you have a clear plan.
It's fascinating you mentioned having a clear plan on basically what you need to do. But also, people have plans. I've come across, again, people who have had plans. This is what I want to do, and this is how I expect to do it. These are my goals, these are my aims. But somehow, they don't do it. They just don't get up, and probably it's willpower or maybe motivation, I don't know. But, it just happens that way that they don't do this business. Yes. Again, you mentioned that your first business was a corner shop. Why did you decide to do that and not work in a 9-to-5 job or anywhere else?
Yeah. In 75, when we came into the country, I applied for several jobs. But because of my color and where I came from, out there, people were not accepting me and giving me a job. I applied for nearly 50 jobs, from a factory job to a cleaning job. But I was not given a chance to work. I was given a chance in the hospital to work for 9 months, and then I had to leave. And I said to my husband, I won't be able to get a job, so I want to start my own business. So he said to me, what are you going to do? I said, we got a lot of foreigners coming into the country, and especially in the hospital. I'll open the corner shop and start doing the Indian spices, what they require. And he said, that's a very good idea. So what I did is, I need to know who is the supplier going to be, who will be my customers, how I'm going to attract them. Other shops, are they selling my same product? And what is extra I can give them to come to me? So I had a clear idea. I thought to myself, I'm a good cook. So lots of mothers, they work as doctors in the hospital. They don't have time to cook. So if I cook and freeze some food, and I will make them buy, for them it's good, they don't have to cook. For me, it's extra income. So I explored the avenue, and I found there is a market there. And I started on a small scale. Then I started doing birthday parties, festivals, with Indian supplying Indian food, and a lot of people were coming to me because in Colchester we could not get the food. So there was a market there. So that is how I expect a entrepreneur to explore the market, what the market needs, and work on it and start setting up the business. Then you copying next door and doing the same thing, it will never work because you are too in competition, and it will be a failure because you're selling the same product like others. You need to have something special in you.
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Um, so basically, you've gotten into business out of circumstance,
Yes.
which is interesting because you came in here, like you mentioned, you found it difficult to get to a proper job, and because of that, you explored your market and decided to go into business supplying the needs of Indian people
Community, yeah.
in the community. That's great to hear because it's something that many people miss out. Sometimes finding it, finding that skill to be able to identify what is needed and being able to supply, you know, the needed stuff to people who want to do that. That is fascinating. But you 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 are a business owner of many skills and talent. You have a lot of businesses around, and you are, like I mentioned earlier, very successful. You've got a hotel, you've got restaurants, and you've got so many other properties and businesses around, especially in the Colchester area. But during your journey and along the way and along the years, you must have come across obstacles and challenges um,
Yeah.
during your business journey. So, can you tell us a few of the
Like,
challenges?
like anything else, there are obstacles and challenges. You have to learn. Learning is a device. Every day you learn new thing. For example, so, when a local customer comes and asks me to cook steak, I have not done it before in my life. So how do I do it? He's my guest. I have to fulfill the service he is asking for. So what I do is I go and learn, I experiment and deliver the product. We all have to learn with new things every day. You have to know if you are going into the business, one thing I say is you have to learn the skill first and train your staff. That is the good way. Every bit of your business, you should know how to manage it. Whether you're cooking a sausage or whether you're doing banking or accounting, you have to know the basic knowledge. And then with that knowledge, you improve and you make sure the staff do the job to become a successful business person. A lot of people I came across, they haven't got the clue. They can't even make a cup of coffee, but they want to run a coffee bar with their staff. It doesn't work. You need to know how you make the coffee and you teach that coffee to your staff who will deliver the product to your customer. The same applies in whether it's a service industry or whether it's a manufacturing industry. You as a person should know what is your product and what sort of standard you maintain to meet the customer needs.
That's really strong advice.
That is the essence of the pudding.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I understand that. You need to be the specialist
You
yourself.
need to know. You have to be multi-skilled. You have to have a multi-skill. As you know, we have got a laundry and dry cleaning. I never done dry cleaning in my life. It took me nearly 6 months to learn about dry cleaning. I got a guy who is experienced, he could do the job. But I said, no, the business belongs to me. I need to know the dry cleaning, and then I will be comfortable delivering the service to the customer. I will not be running the dry cleaning, but I like to know. So every business you go in, you should know everything about the business. Who runs it doesn't matter, but you need to know your business. That is the advice I give.
Fascinating stuff. Mrs. Karri, you mentioned earlier about competition. How do you deal with competition?
Competition, yes. Competition is very good. You should have competition in many ways. That gives you strength to fight the competitor, and also it's good for your business. So you need to know, say you have two hotels next or two agents, estate agents next door. You see on the high street, everywhere next door, how are they doing business? It is you. What sort of service you provide? You bring in customers with the customer face. You have to have the customer face to attract your customers. It doesn't matter how many hotels are there in Colchester. It is you, what you deliver, what you get back. That is important. Yeah, your attitude, your personality, your compassion. This all involves with business. Small businesses, this is very important. You need to have the outgoing personality to get your customers through the door. Manufacturing companies, that's a different type of thing. But here, when you run show with 2-3 people, yourself and your staff, you have to have these things. Yeah? How you approach the customer, how you speak to them, your presentation.
Good customer service skills.
Customer service skills are very, very important.
There was some time ago I wanted to start a business, a social media business, which required a bit of money, but it was something I was working on. And then just out of the blues, I found out that somebody out there decided to do the same kind of business, and he had the money to go all out and do it from the scratch. For me, that was competition, and realizing that I couldn't really do that business the way I wanted it because someone else has started doing that made me a bit depressed. So what do you say to people who want to start a business? They don't have the full amount of money, but somebody else now who has the full amount of money starts it and starts doing it. What do you say to them?
You never get depressed. Your business is your business. You still have to persist on what you want to do. Never give up. Giving up is a way of losing it. You have to keep at it. Whether it takes 2 years, or whether it takes 3 years, or whether it takes 4 years, you will be successful because you will be much more stronger than the other guy. You have got good experience of really getting into the bottom and get to start working on it. Never get depressed. You think, this might not be the right time, but I will still keep doing it. Let me see where I end up. You need to give some time. Just because he got money, it doesn't matter. There are people I have seen without money also became very successful because they got the brains and they could work hard, and they have proved themselves they are something. So one thing I tell you with business, many times, I will tell you an example, many times I wanted to buy properties which I could turn around just like that, but somebody had money, came in and bought it. Did it depress me? The answer is no, it didn't depress me. So next time something came up, I had a better idea to do it and get the property which I wanted. Why I had it? Because first time I lost it, second time I will not lose it. My message is to people is, don't give up. You need to fight at it. Don't worry about others. Whether he got £1 million or he is John Blogg who got lots of money, it doesn't matter. You still want to go and do your social media, explore more, and have a nice business plan. Go and see funding people, and I'm sure you will hit the jackpot somewhere.
That's amazing stuff. As I mentioned earlier, you have a lot of business ventures, and you are just the one person in the center of all this. And you've been able to combine all these services together: the laundromats, dry cleaning, the hotel, the restaurants, and your other various businesses. How are you able to do this on your own?
I don't do it on my own. I have a group of people working for me. Basically, you need to have very good staff who can do the work for you in your own methods. That is also very important for any business. So a good training package should be available for the staff who work for you and understand the business in a greater length and emphasize your success depends on them, not on you. That is very important. You need to have people, and the people are your tools to run the business. And they have to have a long-term commitment to work with you.
Right.
That is important.
Okay. So we'll take a short break. Stay tuned, I will be right back with you.